The 2017 Cleveland Browns were the first ever and only team to go 0-16. So today, with the power of Madden, we are gonna go 2 years before then and see if we can preemptively stop that from ever happening. And not only that, we're gonna see if we can turn this completely around and try to get their Browns their first ever Super Bowl. But super quick, I'm so excited to get into this, so I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Thank you all so much for 7,000 subscribers. We're getting so close to 10K. And once we hit 7,500, I'll have another special but different video coming out. So if you want to be an OG of the channel while you still can be one, the time is very much running out. Be sure to subscribe because there are going to be some banger videos coming up soon. And I think y'all will really enjoy them. And for this special video, let me know y'all want to see more of this by liking the video. Let's see if we can get to 900 likes. I'm expecting at least a few thousand people to see this, so if you like the video, we will easily hit it. It really does help a ton and helps YouTube know that people enjoy these videos. But very last thing, let me know what team to do a throwback rebuild of next, because these are gonna be a lot of fun, and I want to try to save some teams, or I want to try to be the reason that some teams are good in the current day, just through a different route. But that's enough plugging, and let's go through what we're gonna do today. So what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna go until this team is good. We're gonna do a minimum of 3 seasons, but it could go much longer. I want to at least get to a conference championship, but the goal is to win a Super Bowl with this team. And to be honest with you, I don't really know what happened. Well, I know what happened. We're looking at him. Well, that's not what he looks like. What the fuck? But I mean, this is a good team on paper. Josh Gordon, always suspended, but really good. Andrew Hawkins at his peak was good. This was like late career Dwayne Bowe. Brian Hartline was good. The offensive line was really good. I'm pretty sure 4 future All-Pros. That's insane. And then on defense, Carlos Dansby, Paul Kruger, people forget, was really good for a few years. Joe Hayden. I think this is prime Joe Hayden too. Yeah, about prime Joe Hayden. Tashawn Gibson. Late career Dante Whitner, who was still decent, I guess. And we actually have a future good player. One of the better safeties, that's not what he looks like, in the NFL, in Jordan Poyer. So I gave our team dev traits, I took some away where they weren't deserving, and I gave some division rivals some dev traits just to balance it out, so I'm not cheesing it. But before we get into the rebuild of this team, you can skip ahead a few seconds, or minutes more like, but I want to go through and see what teams we're currently looking like at this time, just as a little bit of nostalgia. I'm not going to go too deep, but I want to see the best players. So the Buccaneers are working with Gerald McCoy, old Vincent Jackson, younger Levante David, second year Mike Evans, but to be honest, outside of that, it's not amazing. Cardinals have Jared Veldheer, Calais Campbell, young Patrick Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, Mike Upati, Michael Floyd, and still 35-year-old Carson Palmer at QB. Chargers still have Eric Weddle, Antonio Gate, Orlando Franklin, young Keenan Allen, Phillip Rivers, the GOAT Danny Woodhead. This team is fire, low-key. That is fucking old, though. Oh my god. The Chiefs, even at this time, are kind of nasty. I mean, they have 98 overall Jamal Charles, Justin Houston, Travis Kelce, Tom Bahali, Derek Johnson. Colts have T.Y. Hilton, Pat McAfee, Vontae Davis, and they still have Andrew Luck in this world, pre-retirement. Commanders have Ryan Kerrigan, Trent Williams, Deshaun Jackson, Alfred Morris as some of their top players. Cowboys still have Des Bryant, who caught it, by the way, Jason Witten, Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, rocking with Tony Romo at QB. Dolphins have Brandon Albert with no face for some reason, Ndamukong Suh, Cameron Wake, Lamar Miller. This team is not that good. Eagles have Jason Peters, Darren Sproles, DeMarco Murray, Brandon Graham, 24-year-old Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey, Michael Kendrick when he was good. Falcons have Julio Jones. This was like peak Julio Jones. 92 seems a little low, but fair enough. Desmond Trufant. I mean, that's about it. This team is kind of ass. 49ers have Joe Staley, Navarro Bowman. I forgot Reggie Bush was even a 49er at one point. He was an 89 overall. Torrey Smith. This is a cursed team. Giants have second-year Odell, Jason Pierre-Paul, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. That's a throwback. Victor Cruz, Prince of... Dude, I love this team. And of course, they still have Eli Manning. The Jaguars have Julius Thomas, Luke Jokel. This team is really bad, though. Young Brandon Linder, Justin Blackman. That's fire. And they have 67 overall Blake Bortles at QB. The Jets have DeBrickashaw Ferguson, greatest name of all time, Darrelle Revis, Brandon Marshall, Nick Mangold, Damon Harrison, Chris Ivory, Sheldon Richardson. This is a really good team. However, their quarterback is Ryan Fitzpatrick before he was good, and Geno Smith before he was good. So, not great. The Lions still have Calvin Johnson, Haloti Ngata, DeAndre Levy, Golden Tate. This might have been his first year there. Riley Reif, Larry Warford, Ziggy Ansah, and Matt Stafford at QB. Packers still have Aaron Rodgers, Clay Matthews, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, Josh Sitton, Cheeseburger Eddie, Eddie Lacy, Brian Bulaga, Julius Peppers, Mike Daniels. That team's pretty good too. Panthers still have Luke Kuechly, Greg Olsen, Star Lotulelei, Ryan Khalil. I'm just bullying people for being fat, but pre-Popeye's Biscuit, Kelvin Benjamin, Cam Newton, of course. This might have been his MVP season. Is Josh Norman here? Yeah, but not a very high overall, so this must have been the year before or heading into the year. The Patriots are absurd. Gronk, Tom Brady, Sebastian Vollmer, Julian Edelman, Dante Hightower, Nate Solder, Devin McCourty, LeGarrette Blount. Jamie Collins has X Factor for some reason. I wouldn't necessarily say he deserves that, but fair enough. Pre-stud Chandler Jones. Raiders have Dan Williams as their best player. I kind of forgot he existed. Donald Penn, Khalil Mack, pre-amazingness. Aldon Smith, another player like Josh Gordon, just could never stay on the field due to his own personal issues. Rodney Hudson, Marquette King, Marcel Reese, Gabe Jackson, Charles Woodson, old as hell. Amari Cooper's rookie year, that's fun. Rams have pre-breakout Aaron Donald, Robert Quinn, Greg Robinson for some reason an 87 overall. He was a bust. We're gonna take that dev trade away at the very least. Why the fuck does he have X Factor? Nick Fairley, William Hayes, Michael Brockers, Tavon Austin. Again, why is he an 82? He was never all that good. Ravens have Terrell Suggs, Marshall Yonda, Eugene Monroe, another player I forgot existed, Daryl Smith, Steve Smith, 36 years old, Brandon Williams, how do you say his name again? Kalichi or Kaliki? Osemele. Elvis Doomerville, Joe Flacco is their QB. Saints with Max Unger, could have been his first year there, Drew Brees, Zach Streif, Marquise Colston, maybe the best UDFA ever, maybe. Jari Evans, Cam Jordan, Jairus Byrd, CJ Spiller, Brandon Cooks at only 21 years old. My Seahawks with Marshawn Lynch, Jimmy Graham, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, John Ryan, Bobby Wagner, Michael Bennett, Russell Okung, Doug Baldwin, Cliff Averill. This team was nice. For some reason, Russ isn't that high of an overall. I feel like QB overalls got a little messed up, but if they're all messed up, then it's like fine. No team is really getting screwed over. There must have been some rating change that happened between then and now. I think it also happened with strong safeties because players like Cam aren't a very high overall, but it is what it is. It doesn't really matter. The Steelers still have the killer bees with Antonio Brown pre-fall off, Le'Veon Bell pre-fall off, and Big Ben. Marquise Pouncey here too, Lawrence Himmons, really old James Harrison, Cam Hayward, David DeCastro. Texans are looking really good at this time. They have Dwayne Brown, JJ Watt, Vince Wilfork, Arian Foster, only 23-year-old D-Hop, Brandon Brooke, Whitney Merciless, Jadeveon Clowney. Surely this will be a good team for years to come, and Bill O'Brien won't trade the entire team away for a bag of peanuts. Titans have Brian Arakpo, Chance Warmack, Jarrell Casey. I forgot about him. He was a monster. Derek Morgan, Kendall Wright, Taylor Lewan, Jason McCourty. Vikings have Adrian Peterson, Phil Lodeholt, John Sullivan, Harrison Smith, Mike Wallace, Everson Griffin, Sharif Floyd, the GOAT Blair Walsh, Xavier Rhodes, and Linval Joseph. The Bears still have Matt Forte, Alshon Jeffrey, Martellus Bennett, Robbie Gold, Matt Slauson, Kyle Long, and very old Jared Allen. Bengals still have Andrew Whitworth, AJ Green, Geno Atkins, Carlos Dunlap, Kevin Zeitler, Jeremy Hill, Vontez Burfict, Tyler Eifert. That's a really good team. This might have been the year where Vontez Burfict like essentially ruined Antonio Brown's life with a massive hit. Bills have LaShawn McCoy, so I guess this was already post-Eagles LaShawn McCoy, Marcel Darius, Percy Harvin, I forgot he played for the Bills, Kyle Williams, Cordy Glenn, Dan Carpenter, Mario Williams, Richie Incognito, Charles Clay, Stephon Gilmore, Sammy Watkins. That's a cool team. And the last team to round it all out, the Broncos with Von Miller, Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Evan Mathis, Chris Harris Jr., Ryan Clady, Peyton Manning, Brandon Marshall, Aqib Talib, and I think this was their Super Bowl winning year, so that's a good team to finish with. So lengthy roster breakdown, I just feel like that was important important to remember the players that were around at this time and to know the players we're gonna run into in this franchise. So with that, let's get this rebuild underway and let's get to the mid-season point of 2015. So at the mid-season point of year number 1, we are 3-4, which isn't the best, but we are tied for second in the division, so we'll take it. Now, some weird things have happened between where I left off and now. So where do I begin? To clarify, these are rosters and draft classes that I got from Madden 21, and I just kind of plugged them into Madden 23, and they seemed to work pretty well. Something that doesn't really matter, but it's still weird, is that Andrew Hawkins mentored Dwayne Bowe and got him star dev, and it said mentor rookie, and then the same thing happened the other way around. Dwayne Bowe mentored Andrew Hawkins, and I went with like medium route running. So neither of them are rookies. They must just be coded over like a rookie player in Madden's regular rosters. I don't know. Something else weird that happened, I've never seen this before, is just take a look. I don't know who that is, but I've seen that face before. Every player has whoever's face that is in the draft class. So I was hoping to be able to use actual faces because that's what it's supposed to be. I'll just have to change them to be close enough to whatever the actual player looks like, but what the hell? And then there's also like 2 other faces mixed in, 3 that look somewhat familiar. So don't bring files from Madden 21 to 23 apparently. And it's not like an issue of no more faces in draft classes because those are real faces. It's just none of them are right and they're all the same one. Also Jalen Ramsey, Eli Apple, and Leonard Floyd are all apparently from Abilene Christian. Okay, noted. But anyways, let's get back to the rebuild. That's weird as hell. We have some re-signings. Nobody's interested in re-signing with the team. We have Josh Gordon, Mitchell Schwartz, Tashawn Gibson are the major ones. Nobody else is really major though. So Josh Gordon will offer him very player friendly, 6 years, 105 mil, and he doesn't take it. Worst case scenario, we could just tag him though. We'll offer Mitchell Schwartz 5 years, 84.5 mil. He does re-sign. Expensive, but it's good to get a good player back. Tashawn Gibson is really expensive for only being an 82 overall. We'll hold off. That's 5 years, 67, and that's just at neutral. He would be 7 years, 118 at very player friendly, which we would have to do, and he maybe wouldn't even take. Maybe all safety overalls are just lowered and he's like one of the best ones? I don't know. This is more of like a trial run to see how this would work, but it'll still be fun. I mean, we can still work with the real players. I'll just get overalls and maybe faces worked out as I do more of these, if y'all enjoy this video, of course. But with that, that's all there really is for us to do here. So let's get to the end of year 1 and let's see if we can somehow make the playoffs with the Browns, maybe? Alright, well, if you've seen one of my videos before, y'all know why we're here. I can't believe that was the outcome this year, but super quick if you haven't already, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. It helps out a ton. It helps push these videos to more people. Again, like 900 likes. If you like, we'll easily be able to hit it. And 7,500 subs. Again, big thank you for 7K. Subscribe to be an OG. And finally, I guess I'll just plug everything. Fucking turn on notifications if you want to be notified whenever I upload. Let me know what team to do like this next. That's a major one because I want to know what y'all want to see. I don't really know which team would be fun to do around this time. Could do the Panthers, who were in the Super Bowl this year, the Broncos, who would be losing Peyton Manning, try to get them a Super Bowl in his final year like what happened in real life. There are a lot of fun things we could do. But here's a look at the defense at the end of year 1, also looking pretty good. But in year number 1, if you couldn't tell already, we made the playoffs, going 9-8. Does it normally have the 0 at the end of the records? Oh, the Ravens had a tie. That's probably why it did that. I haven't seen a tie in this game in a long time. That's really weird, but fair enough. I see Justin Houston had 24 sacks. That's a number. But let's check out some of the season stats. What? So Johnny Manziel, no off-field issues here, obviously. There isn't an off-field necessarily. These aren't real players. So 4,800 yards for him, 44 touchdowns for fucking Johnny Manziel. Did he even get that total in his career? I doubt it. 17 interceptions. That's a number. Isaiah Crowell was really bad. He was decent in real life. Just not a very good person, but he was a pretty good player. Robert Turbin, I low-key loved him as a Seahawks fan. Josh Gordon with 1,600 yards and 21 touchdowns. So again, no off-field issues here. He could be this might sound crazy, but if he kept playing at the level he did in like 2014, he could be one of the best receivers of all time, like legitimately. Just the numbers he put up that year were ridiculous. It was about this. If he did that every year, who knows? He could be one of the GOAT. Andrew Hawkins, over 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Dwayne Bowe was decent. Gary Barnidge was decent. Blocking, Mitchell Schwartz was horrific, but the rest of the line for Madden terms was pretty good. Carlos Dansby led the team with 144 tackles for loss, 16 for Desmond Bryant, 15 for Danny Shelton, 14 for Barkevious Mingo, 11 for Paul Kruger, and sacks, 9.5. Whoa. Paul Kruger had a weird season. He had 14 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks. How the hell did he get 4 picks? I switched the defense to a 3-4. He should not be playing off ball pretty much at all. We'll take it, but like how? Paul Kruger had 8.5 sacks. He was good. Desmond Bryant, 4.5. Not much really outside of that. And then interceptions, like I said, Mingo with 4, but also Tashawn Gibson had 4 interceptions. We might have to re-sign him even though he's expensive. 2 for Joe Hayden, and then 1 for a few players. Again, I think a really fun part about this is just the fact that these are going to be players I've literally never talked about on the channel before. I've only had the channel for like a year, so there are going to be some fun players here. Aaron Rodgers wins MVP of the 14-3 Green Bay Packers. Tyrod Taylor was only a 70 overall at the time. I mean, he was pretty good for the Bills for a few years, but he was up there. Big Ben, damn. Ryan Mallett up there, rest in peace. It's absurd to me how many people, mini rant here, there are some terrible people online. One of my like main, just I guess pet peeves is people making fun of someone who died. That is the like most garbage shit you can do in my opinion. And there were people like, bro, how the fuck do you die, or how the fuck do you drown at 35 years old? Well, A, it can still happen, but B, he was literally like swimming in the ocean and got like caught by a rip current or some shit. Like you'd go and try to do that. I don't think you would have much more success. I don't know. But yeah, people are stupid, but Ryan Mallett is up there. Wish he would have won that, honestly. That would have been kind of fun. The rare time I won't complain about an interesting player being up there. Joe Flacco, Peyton Manning, Kirk Cousins. This was pre like good Kirk Cousins, but I guess he was still their starter. This must have been his first year starting there. Marcus Mariota, Drew Brees, Johnny Manziel all the way down at 10. Oh, I'm scared to check the season stats. Did Aaron Rodgers have like 60 passing touchdowns? We will find out. Josh Gordon wins Offensive Player of the Year. We will absolutely take that. No other Browns up there. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Khalil Mack. Definitely some fun players up there. Barkevious Mingo at number 6. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Marcus Mariota. Amari Cooper at 2. Philip Dorsett, maybe he'll be good here. TJ Yeldon, he was a decent player for a few years in real life. Roosevelt Nix, did he get like playing time? There are some weird players up here actually. Like where's Jameis Winston? No, he's NFC, I'm stupid, ignore me. And then Dante Fowler Jr. wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Pretty much a bust in real life, but fair enough. Danny Shelton at number 4, we'll take it. And hold on, I want to see what the hell Aaron Rodgers did. I'm scared to look a little bit, but we'll look anyway. Oh, I mean, it wasn't that crazy. Johnny Manziel actually had the most passing touchdowns in the NFL, so I'm not gonna replace him. It would be weird to do this rebuild with Johnny Manziel, but in a world where, you know, there are no off-field distractions, I mean, talent wasn't really in question for him. It was just maturity. So, I mean, unless he starts playing terrible, he could be our quarterback for the entirety of the rebuild. So really, really fun year number 1. We're not gonna jump in and watch these games simulate yet, because it is only year 1, but we have a weak link scenario here. What was the problem with this team? Oh, it was our defense. Okay, well, let's go. What were we good at? We did have a decent amount of turnovers and pressure. I guess we'll go forced turnovers. Maybe it's probably like 2. Yeah, 2. That's definitely doable. And then we have a first of many scenario. I guess we probably made it to the playoffs with a not great team because we literally have the greatest coach of all time in Mikey McDingle. We'll go play it cool here, though. I low-key hope we don't win this game because we have nowhere near the roster talent that the Chiefs did, but we'll simulate a week and let's see what happens. Okay, and we do lose 17-14. I'm fine with that. I'm more than fine with that. We are nowhere near a competitive roster right now, so that's realistic. I'm cool with it. But with that, let's get into the offseason and let's start working on making this an actual really good team. team. So in the Super Bowl, we have a really fun one. It's gonna be the New England Patriots taking down the Green Bay Packers, 38-35, in a Super Bowl that I'm surprised never happened, like Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers, maybe the two greatest quarterbacks of this generation, other than like Peyton Manning maybe, at least over Aaron Rodgers. And there is a slight case for Manning to be the GOAT, but like probably not. But either way, very fun Super Bowl as the Patriots win another. That's just what we need. But for re-signings, it's definitely tough. Two of our best performing players are here. They both went up to Superstar Dev, and neither of them are interested literally at all. Is there anyone else we really need to re-sign? I liked Gary Barnage a lot in real life, but I mean, here he's already 30. I think this coming up year in real life is when he had his like 1,000-yard season and was actually a really good player, but that's not really gonna happen here, unfortunately. I guess we'll go like very player friendly and up this a little bit. 7 years, 172 mil, and Josh Gordon does not take it, but that's fine. We'll just tag him. It's only 12 mil. I guess the contracts aren't updated here, or that might have been kind of just what they were like. I mean, players were just cheaper at the time, obviously, so we'll tag him. No brainer. Hopefully he's more interested next year. And then Tashawn Gibson, I mean, we have a ton of money to work with. We'll offer him 6 years, 104, and he does take it. Okay, cool. Should get better throughout the rebuild. Obviously has Superstar Dev now, and the rest of these players, they're just not that good. I mean, it's all depth. And also, I just want to say this now, like, I know most, like, pretty much every name here. There are just some players that, like, I was like 12 at the time in like 2015. I was a big like Madden mobile player, so I knew the players, but I didn't ever like watch them that much. Just if like the Seahawks were playing them, or if it was just like a big game or something, I watched them. But it's not like I was watching like film or anything. So I know every name here pretty much, except like if I go fucking lowest overall. No, I know Matt Blanchard, I know Connor Shaw, so I guess I know every name here. It's just some players I didn't really ever watch much of, so I just don't know for sure how good they really were. I pretty much just knew a lot of them from their Madden Mobile 15 cards, and that's about it. But back to the rebuild, here we are in free agency, and who's gonna be available? Ooh, there's some good players. Trent Williams, Kevin Zeitler, Alshon Jeffrey, old Matt Forte here. No dev trait for some reason. That's just kind of how these rosters worked out, I guess. Yet LeGarrette Blount had Superstar. If I could edit dev traits outside of franchise, I would, but unfortunately, Madden is stupid and you can't do that for whatever reason. But I am definitely thinking about a running back here. How was Lamar Miller last year? 3.5. I mean, he was pretty much just Isaiah Crowell with more carries. No thanks. LeGarrette Blount, I mean, funny name. This in a blunt. Oh, he was actually really good. For some reason, doesn't have any stats before this year, but this year he was pretty good. Maybe we should offer him a contract. I'm not going to talk this long for every player I'm going to go for, but we'll maybe see if we can get him. But let me look through and find some good players, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so these are the players we're going to go for in free agency. The first and main one is Trent Williams. I think we're going to move him to right tackle, which I don't know if I would necessarily do that in real life, but he is more of a run blocker anyways, so I guess it almost makes sense a little bit. Moving linemen around usually isn't a very good thing, at least to the opposite side, but Mitchell Schwartz was like really terrible last year. He's a good player, it's just Madden apparently doesn't agree, and he allowed 17 sacks or whatever it was. I think it was 17, so we'll replace that. And the fact that we can get Trent Williams for like 20 mil a year is kind of crazy. Still only 28 here, so not even that old yet. LeGarrette Blount, like I said, we're gonna go for. I don't really care if we get him or not. The Broncos are also interested. We'll see. Same deal with Kobe Fleener. 82 seems very high for a player like him, but he's a good overall, so we'll take it. Speaking of Madden Mobile, I did like to use him a lot because he was really fast, and he was like a budget beast in that game. Akeem Hicks, this was like pre-breakout Akeem Hicks. I might give him a dev trait, but is that easy? I mean, he deserves it. We'll do that thing where I'm just gonna balance it out. We'll give a division rival player a dev trait too. And Lawrence Guy with Superstar Dev, it would be cool to get both. Our D-line is not great. I would be cool with just getting one, but we'll see what happens. So we're doing more in free agency than I expected. So with that, let's see if any of these players do want to sign with us. They all sign, and we get Trent Williams, LeGarrette Blount, Kobe Fleener, and Akeem Hicks. God damn. bam. This team is already looking really nice. The defense isn't amazing yet, but hopefully we can fix that through the draft. But speaking of that, let's get to the draft and let's get ready to look at the scary faces. I'm gonna see those in my nightmare. But here in the draft, the Jaguars have the #1 overall pick, which they might have originally had it in the 2016 draft and then traded it away to the Rams. Or I think it was the Titans, because I remember seeing a thing about like how much the Rams gave up for Jared Goff, I think. I don't know. Either way, we don't pick until number 20. The Cowboys take Paxton Lynch. Yikes. But what do we want to do here? It could be fun to take an actual Browns pick, like Emmanuel Ogbah. I don't want to cheese these draft classes too much, because I mean, we can just go down the board and get someone like Justin Simmons or like James Bradbury, Kendall Fuller. Like, I don't want to do that too much, but I'm gonna make some good picks, obviously. Like Jonathan Jones chilling in UDFA. Like, yeah, we're gonna try and stay away from doing that as much as we possibly can. God, the faces bother me. I hope we can get that fixed, but I hope it doesn't mess with the, what's the word? The allure of this rebuild? I don't know. I think I do want to go with a D lineman, and I know I just said I don't want to cheese this too much, but this is about the right range. I think we're gonna go with Chris Jones. Obviously not looking very Chris Jones-ish there, but one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. We'll make like one good pick per draft, and then the rest will be, I mean, we can make like other good picks, but not like really good. So we'll go with Chris Jones with the first pick. 6'6", 310, 22 years old. I think out of, was he Mississippi State? Yeah, Mississippi State. I'll get all that fixed. I'll give him an accurate-ish face. Let's take it. And of course, hidden dev. Oh, that is horrifying. Why is he gray? Why is he a mannequin? It really did something weird to the faces. We'll get it figured out though. That's terrifying. With our second round pick, I think I want to look at a receiver. This just isn't that good of a receiver class. There is Tyler Boyd. Would that be cheesing it? Maybe. But it is second round. Oh, that'll be realistic. Let's go Tyreek Hill. You know what? Tyler Boyd, second round. That's not too unrealistic. Really good short route, obviously. Good release. Should be a really good potential wide receiver 2 for the entirety of the rebuild. Let's take him. And in the third round, what's another big need we have? We still kind of do need safety. Unfortunately, same deal. We're either cheesing it or not really getting anyone that good. You know what? With this pick, we'll just take a player that actually got picked by the Browns in Seth Devolve. So we'll be a good number 2 tight end. Skipped the combine in this world. He actually looks kind of crazy. I mean, his spec catch isn't all that good, but his ratings are really good. But he'll be a decent number 2 tight end. Let's take him. And he has hidden dev. I might take that away. He never really became that good, but also looks terrifying. So we'll get him a realistic face. But with that, let's just simulate the rest of this out. And hey, if the CPU picks some cheese, then, you know, I didn't do it. But more than likely, they'll pick some garbage. So we'll see. All right, well, here's a look at the draft we had now that I got all the faces and colleges updated. This was pretty good. I'll say that. Chris Jones is a 75 overall as a rookie. Obviously, he was our first round pick. His pass rush rating isn't really high. Now, obviously, I didn't go through and fully create all these players. Like I said, these are something I downloaded from Madden 21. There's some legend named, I think, Cursive 22 is their name. I just kind of edited the draft classes. They had the actual faces in Madden 21, so I don't know what went wrong with bringing them to Madden 23, but they went to Madden 22 fine, so I don't know. But yeah, I did change like the dev traits and everything, so if the ratings are interesting, the point I was getting at is I'm guessing they're like the player's rookie ratings, like their first ever ratings in Madden. I'm guessing. That's just a guess though. I don't know. Tyler Boyd is a 71 overall, obviously hidden dev for him too. Should hopefully be a good slot receiver in the future, the eventual replacement to, I guess, Brian Hartline was our main slot guy last year. Seth Devolve, I'll keep the dev trait because he is only a 63 overall, so yeah, that's not great. We'll keep it. The CPU also picked Jordan Jenkins, which he was a decent player for a few years for the Jets. We'll definitely take that. They also picked Blake Martinez, which is a pretty good steal, Will Redmond, Evan Boehm, Quentin Jefferson, that's pretty good value in the 5th round, Cole Toner, and Brandon Jackson. Apparently the CPU just wanted to recreate like the Seahawks Seahawks defensive line. I don't know. But we did get at least one Browns player here in Seth Devalve, or is it Devalve or Devolve? I always said Devolve, but that's an actual word. Is it a word? Devolve? Yeah, it is, right? Yeah. I don't know. Either way, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. We had a pretty good draft. We'll definitely take it. I could have really cheesed it, but all things considered, that was definitely a good draft. Hopefully next year's draft class doesn't have the same face thing, but we'll see. You never know. Oh, I should have checked who drafted who. I'm actually really curious. Again, the faces are going to be fucked up, but like, where did Jared Goff go? Where did Carson Wentz go? Dak Prescott? Peyton Manning didn't retire? What the hell? All right, fair enough. So Dak went to the Steelers. God, that bothers me. I'm going to change these faces. I can't look at that. All right, there's like straight up not a face that looks like Dak Prescott, so that's the best we're going to get. He went to the Steelers, though. Carson Wentz to the Bears. And Jared Goff, I'll have to up his overall a little bit for the future rebuilds, but he went to the Cardinals, division rival of the Rams, obviously, the team that picked him. But with that, let's get into year number 2 of the rebuild, and hopefully we can do even better this year, but we'll see. All right, well, I'm gonna try to keep this relatively realistic. I don't want to cheese it like too bad, because then it'll be like, oh, well, you saved the 0-17 Browns from happening, but like you traded for a pick to get Patrick Mahomes or some shit, or you somehow traded for goddamn, I don't know, who was a good young running back at the time? LaShawn McCoy wasn't that old yet? Like, I don't know. But I think this is a relatively realistic trade, especially based off of what Mitchell Schwartz eventually became. If they're getting what Mitchell Schwartz became, a second round pick is pretty damn good value for like probably the best right tackle in the NFL at one point. We just really don't need him. I mean, we added Trent Williams, so we're getting a second in return for pretty much a backup, so we'll definitely take it. Not pretty much a backup, I mean, he is a backup. And if I do trade players, I do most of the time want to trade them to a team they actually went to. I say that, but we're going to be trading Dwayne Bowe to the Bears for a 5th round pick. This is just clearing old players, and I want to show you what the Bears receiving core looks like. It is foul. So picture this without Dwayne Bowe that we just gave him. Eddie Royal at 30 years old, 77 overall is their number 1. Tandon Doss, forgot he existed. Marquise Wilson was cool for like a year, but they drafted Laquan Treadwell. I hope they didn't pick him in the 1st round. Oh, they have like 1 or 2 good years. Cameron Meredith. Dude, he was like a fucking monster though. And then he just got injured too much, unfortunately, but in like 16 and 17, he was a really, really good player. Well, I say really, really good. He only put up like 800 yards each year, but like still a lot better than a 59 overall or whatever they had him at. This is just gonna be me going down memory lane, I'm realizing, but it might be the same for y'all if y'all are like around my age. This is like okay, another trade. It might seem kind of weird that I'm just kind of scrapping the team, but we have a lot of like good receivers, so I want to get rid of 2 of the older ones. Obviously, we just got rid of Dwayne Bowe, but Brian Hartline is fairly old. He's like 29. I want to get Tyler Boyd some playing time. So Brian Hartline, we're going to be sending him to the 49ers. I sent him to a team where he will still start. I think he'll be their, number 2 receiver? Let me see. Yeah, he'll be their number 2 receiver. They have Leonard Hankerson, DeAndrew White, which, was he ever even that good? I don't know. Griff Whalen. He was more of a returner, wasn't he? He has decent return rating. I thought he was a returner. I don't know. Either way, Brian Hartline is now going to be their receiver too. Not a great group, but it is what it is. And like I said, I want to get Tyler Boyd on the field. But here's a look at the team heading into year number 2 of the rebuild. Really different looking team. I didn't really realize how much we did, but obviously we added Kobe Fleener, Trent Williams, LeGarrette Blount. It's huge that Johnny Manziel did so well. It would be really fun to be able to use him for the rest of the rebuild, so assuming he does well again this year, we'll stick with him. Obviously, we added Tyler Boyd too. The offense in general is looking really nice. And then on defense, we obviously added Akeem Hicks, Chris Jones, just really shored up the D-line. I think that's all we did to the defense, but those are 2 pretty big additions, pretty good ones. I obviously gave Akeem Hicks superstar. I still haven't done it, but what's a good player we can give a good dev trait to on a division rival team? The Bengals were pretty competitive, so let's see. You know what? Let's give Carlos Dunlap superstar, I guess. That works. I mean, he'll definitely become a much better player than Akeem Hicks will be, so maybe that's kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. I just don't want to cheese it, obviously. But yeah, in general, the defense is looking really nice, and I will get the specialists all sorted out. I guess they're about right. I would just put Mingo Mingo right here and Tyler Boyd there. I'll get him like perfected though. But with that, let's get to the midseason point of year number 2 and let's see how this team can do. Bruh, why? Who is this? I thought it would fix it because I thought this was just somebody in the last draft class, but bruh, everyone's just gonna have that face apparently. That's something. We'll fix it. It'll be okay, I think. Okay, wow. Apparently this team is just really good. We're only an 80 overall, but we are 5-2 at the midseason point of year 2. We have some upgrades here though. Chris Jones, Trent Williams, Barkevious Mingo, K'Wan Williams. Good upgrades throughout here for sure. We will definitely take that. We have a lot of scenarios here. I don't want to click the next man up. Those things suck. But we have a breakout QB for Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel's coming off a stellar game. Is he in the process of taking the next step? Hopefully. We'll see. So 1 or fewer interceptions and 350 scrimmage yards or 4 total touchdowns with Mr. Johnny Manziel to get him to superstar dev. I don't know if he'll be able to do that because it is a decent defense we're going up against. It's not a good team, but they do have an 83 overall defense and they are 8th in defensive points per game. So they do definitely have a good defense, specifically a good pass defense, but their rush defense is terrible, which I don't know how 13th and 32nd equals the 8th best scoring defense, but whatever. Fair enough. But we have some re-signings here. Josh Gordon, of course, Barkevious Mingo. I'm surprised he didn't go up to star dev, but he's still a decent player. K'Wan Williams. I did sign Brandon McManus, Taylor Gabriel. I mean, we have Tyler Boyd. They're not really the same player at all, but Gabriel's the 4th guy right now anyways. Isaiah Crowell, meh. Jordan Poyer, I do probably want back. We're kind of holding him back though. I mean, he's not really playing at all here. Kind of has a superstar dev for no reason, so we might let him go, try to develop. We'll see. Could also start him. I mean, if not Antoine Bethea, Dante Whitner retires or something, then we'll probably give Jordan Poyer a chance. We'll see. But Josh Gordon, we'll start with him. We'll try very player friendly again. 6 years, 129 mil, and he does take it this time. Okay, cool. Barkevious Mingo doesn't look too expensive at all. 3 years, 16.8 mil. He resigns. He'll probably be a backup next year, but we'll see. K'Wan Williams, we'll try 4 years, 34.8 mil. He resigns. Brandon McManus, I mean, why not? 2 years, 5.4 mil. He resigns. And then pretty much everyone else here is depth. So we could bring Crowell back at the end of the year to be a good second guy. And then Jordan Poyer, I do want back, but everyone else here is just meh. So with that, let's actually see first, before we get to the end of the year, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We got to see if Johnny Manziel hits his breakout. My guess is probably not, but I guess we'll see. So we do beat the Cardinals. We win 34-24 to move us to 6-2. But do we hit the breakout QB? My guess is probably not, but maybe. And we do not, unfortunately. But at least we get the win. We'll take it. All right, well, y'all know why we're here. I feel bad plugging so much, but it's just kind of what I do at the end of the year if we make the playoffs. No spoilers, but I'm sure y'all know at this point. If you haven't already, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. 900 likes again, 7,500 subs, and I will have another special rebuild of a different kind out pretty soon. And if y'all enjoy this video enough, I'll definitely do a lot more of these going back to the past rebuilds. Hopefully we can get the draft classes figured out, because they used to work in the older games, but just now every face is ruined. I might try to set most of the players to like actual just Madden generated faces, just so it's not like the same freaky person every time. We'll see. That would take a fuckload of work, but I might do it. But here is a look at the defense as well at the end of year number 1 or 2. Of course, Chris Jones has X Factor. I mean, what did you expect? He's the best defensive tackle in the NFL, not named Aaron Donald, so yeah, it makes sense. Also, Tyler Boyd has star dev, like y'all would expect. I don't remember what I gave Blake Martinez, because I gave these players these dev traits like 2 years ago. I've had these custom draft classes downloaded for a long time. But in year number 2, we finished 13-4, easily making the playoffs. I don't know why we're having so much success, because we're only an 82 overall team. At least that's what it says there. I spent upgrades after. What did it say we are now? Are we still in 82? Okay, we're in 84 now, but throughout the year we were in 82. So like, I don't know if we should have this crazy of an amount of success, but we'll take it. But let's check out the season stats. Johnny Manziel wasn't as good this year, but still a hell of a lot better than he was in real life. 5,100 yards, 31 touchdowns, 11 picks, 69% completion percentage. Nice. LeGarrette, this in a blunt, with a little over 1,000 yards, 17 touchdowns. Josh Gordon, 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns. Tyler Boyd as a rookie, almost almost 1,400 yards with 13 touchdowns. Hopefully he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. It would be hard for him not to unless there was a QB in our conference. I don't know. Also, wait, he had almost 1,400 yards in only 775 snaps. If he played 111, hold on, what would have, I'm going to check this. I'm going to do the math. If he had as many snaps as Josh Gordon got, he would have had 1,981 yards. We could have had a fucking Calvin Johnson type season from Tyler Boyd. That would have been so cool, but it is what it is. He was still a monster. That would have been crazy though. I kind of wish that would have happened. Blocking was definitely better this year. Joe Thomas definitely not playing like his potential best tackle of all time self. The rest of the line was good though. Joel Bitonio wasn't great and Alex Mack wasn't great, but John Greco was really good. Carlos Dansby once again led the team with 121 tackles. Tackles for loss, we had 13 from Paul Kruger, 12 from Chris Jones. In sacks, 17 from Paul Kruger, 11 and a half from Barkevius Mingo. We definitely won't replace him. He's been good both years. Chris Jones was really good, or pretty good. I mean, this isn't as good as he is in real life, but this was his rookie year, so yeah, that was good. Akeem Hicks was decent. And then interceptions, 3 for Justin Gilbert and Dante Hittner, 2 for Dansby, Hayden, Gibson, and K'Wan Williams, and then Jordan Poyer with a pick too. Not many snaps from him though. If I have one regret this year, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a regret, because Whitner did really well, but I kind of wish I started Jordan Poyer over him. But I don't know, Whitner did well. But yearly awards, MVP goes to Matt Ryan, who also won MVP this year in real life. This was 16, right? So good shit, Madden. Rare Madden W. They got the MVP right. Tony Romo up there, Russ, Peyton Manning, who somehow hasn't retired, Kirk Cousins, Alex Smith, Andy Dalton, Teddy Bridgewater, Ryan Tannehill. There's some interesting ones up here. This was before Ryan Tannehill was pretty good with the Titans. Aaron Rodgers at number 10. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Le'Veon Bell. Kendall Wright, that's a throwback. Jeremy Maclin on the Chiefs. That happened, but I remember when they signed him. It's weird that I remember that, but I guess it wasn't like that long ago. Still weird though. Tyler Boyd as a rookie at number 8, and I don't think there was another rookie above him, so hopefully he can win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year went to Von Miller. Paul Kruger all the way down at 8. He was really good. I'm surprised he wasn't higher. He kind of fizzled out in real life, but here it looks like he's staying good. Tyler Boyd does win Offensive Rookie of the Year. We have a little different looking Ezekiel Elliott here. Oh, this is so weird. I hate it so much, but I physically cannot take the time to fix all of them because this video would come out in 2 months. So we'll just slowly work to get them fixed, but I will do it. And we get Defensive Rookie of the Year. I put emphasis on the wrong word there. Defensive Rookie of the Year with Chris Jones, Camus Grugier-Hill at number 2, Kevin Byard on the Ravens, William Jackson on the Patriots, Justin Simmons to the Raiders. This is interesting. So we do win Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year. That is massive. And of course, we have a first of many. I try to figure out what this means in every rebuild. I think for sure it does mean try to get your first playoff win. Because this isn't my first... Wait, coach, you're heading into your first playoff game. This isn't our first playoff game. It's our first of the year, but also sometimes we don't get it. Oh yeah, it says how important is your first playoff win? Well then why does it say first playoff game? I don't know. They didn't think the dialogue through very clearly in this game, but we'll go play it cool. And should we jump in? Yeah, we'll jump in against the Jags. So we'll jump in and watch this game simulate, and hopefully we can take down the Jaguars in the wild card, who, by the way, just had the #1 overall pick, so quite a rebound year from them. So I'm realizing this game fucking sucks still. If there's one takeaway from this video, I know I'm doing weird shit here, but this has happened to me before, like literally 2 years ago. Just take a look what happens. This is the franchise right here, 7-1-23. I click it and it freezes. The loading screen in the bottom right is stuck. This has been a problem for years and it is still not fixed. If there is one takeaway from this video, it is do not buy another Madden game. I mean, I'm gonna do it because this is my second job, and if I play like the last year's Madden game, not many people are necessarily gonna want to watch that, but there have been so many weird things in this video that are like glitches. There's nothing else you can really explain them as, and pretty much all of them have existed for a long time. Especially this one. This one's the most important one, where you just straight up can't get into some offline franchises if you use custom draft classes. I found a full like long forum post from early 2022. This glitch existed in Madden 21, so that was almost 3 years ago. This game just sucks, dude, straight up. I've heard Madden 24 is gonna be better, but I doubt it. right? I want to be optimistic, but they promise stuff every year, and it's always the same shit. I'm gonna try to recreate this franchise as close as I can, but in Madden 21 we'll go with. Any video from this series is gonna be in Madden 21 because we'll have the accurate faces. It still might corrupt, but hopefully we can get it done before it does that. I could try 22, but I don't know if the faces are for sure right in that game. So let's get over to Madden 21. Bit outdated, but unfortunately with the state that this game is in, that's what we gotta do. You know, as I'm resetting up this franchise in Madden 21, I'm slowly realizing that this game is just better, straight up, like a one-to-one comparison. This game, this isn't even me being like biased against Madden 23 because it's newer. I enjoy this more. This game is better. I'll tell you more why in a second once I have this fully reset up, but this is better. All right, well that took probably about an hour and a half, but we got the franchise reset up. So here we are in Madden 21, a game that I don't think I've made a video on in almost 2 years, and I don't think there's anyone on the channel that has probably ever seen those videos. So I guess welcome to Madden 21. I'm sure you've seen it, but you've never seen me play it. And like I said, I kind of like this game more. The like blue background is kind of sick. You can see your coach. This has the old kind of scouting, which I like more anyways. Again, I don't know if I've made a video with the new kind of scouting or the old kind of scouting in forever. I don't remember when it was rolled out, but it's been a while. But I made sure the roster is almost identical, even the overalls. I tried to get it as close as I could. I think I have Corey Coleman instead of Titus Davis or something, which I like that more anyways, because Corey Coleman obviously was a Brown. A huge bust, massive bust, but was a Brown at one point. Oh yeah, and guess what? We have realistic faces now. Tyler Boyd has his face. That's not the right Chris Jones. I think there were 2 in the same class. That's not the right one, but at least it is a face, so we'll take it. We'll take what we can get. Blake Martinez is actually here. We'll take that. Jordan Jenkins. Couldn't get Quiffer? That sounds like a slur or something. Quentin Jefferson is what I was trying to say. But we have Antoine Woods. I don't know. That works. It doesn't really matter anyways. But of course, in year number 2, I gave us pretty much the same record. Another thing I like more about this is going back to Madden 21, we had the old records, the 16 game schedules, which is what it would have been at the time that this franchise would take place in like 2016 right now. Obviously, there weren't 17 game schedules yet. So, I mean, that's not really the fault of current Madden, obviously. I mean, in current day, we have 17 game schedules, but it's just another reason that this is better. That was not the... Where are the season stats? Oh, there they are. Everything's laid out different, so it's hard for me to remember, but I'm slowly remembering. I think I already went over the stats in the last one, so I don't want to spend so much time going over stats, but here are Johnny Manziel's stats. LeGarrette Blount was really good. Josh Gordon, Tyler Boyd, Kobe Fleener, cool. Blocking was much better than it was in Madden 23. Dansby led the team in tackles. Chris Jones, good tackles for loss. Really good sacks. He might win Defensive Rookie of the Year here again. Not much pressure outside of him, though. Interceptions, decent amount. Williams, Whitner, and Gibson each had 2. And then yearly awards, MVP, what? EJ Manuel wins MVP. Carson Wentz on the Jets at number 3. Matt Ryan's up there, but doesn't win it this year. Ryan Mallett's still good here, which I like. That does indeed put a smile on my face. Something I remember about this game that was a little annoying is regression is like extreme. It's like cranked up to not even 11, like it's cranked up to 20. Even for QBs. I mean, Drew Brees, I think in our franchise was an 89 still. He's an 83 here. So yeah. But for Offensive Player of the Year, Johnny Manziel up there at number 8. JJ Watt wins Defensive Player of the Year. Manti Te'o at number 2. Brian Cushing. Yo, this is kind of sick. It looks like it's a lot of off-ball linebackers up here. That's interesting. Offensive Rookie of the Year unfortunately goes to Carson Wentz here. I still might give Tyler Boyd Superstar Dev just because in the last franchise, we're going to treat that as kind of canon, I guess. He was a beast. He was still really good here, just not better than Wentz. So I might do it. I don't know. I feel like I'm cheesing a lot in this one, but I'm making it equal. You know what I mean? Also, the Dolphins got Tyreek Hill, so that's realistic, I guess. I mean, they didn't draft him, but they have him currently. And they got Hunter Henry. They must have had a pretty good draft. Peyton Barber was pretty good for them, apparently. And Chris Jones does win Defensive Rookie of the Year again here. They also got William Jackson. Holy shit, the Dolphins, dude. Kevin Byard on the Colts, Joey Bosa on the Jags, Brian Poole, who was a really good corner for a few years, on the Patriots, DeForest Buckner on the Titans. There's some fun players on interesting teams here. Camus Grugier-Hill again up here, what the hell? Why is he so good in these franchises? I mean, he was like 9, but still. But of course, we're in the playoffs here. I'm not gonna close this out. Like, I hope it doesn't crash or anything, because if it crashes, we might have the same problem again. Like, a lot of the problems we had in the other one are fixed, but I think the whole, if you have custom draft classes in an offline franchise, it can still fuck up the franchise. We'll see, though. But let's see who we're gonna be taking on in the divisional. We do have a first round bye in this simulation. Also, offline simulation is so much quicker in Madden 21. I don't know why, but I remember that at one point in Madden 21, offline simulation was faster than online simulation. But in this year's game, in Madden 23, offline simulation is so fucking slow. I don't know why. I think it was even quicker in Madden 22. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm going off on like long tangents here. That's not why y'all are here. I'm sure if you're a regular viewer, you're used to that though. But we have some upgrades here. Johnny Manziel. Holy shit, these are huge upgrades. Johnny Manziel, Tyler Boyd, and Josh Gordon. Just slight upgrades. 3 of our most important players. No biggie. But we're going to be taking on the 9-7 Buffalo Bills in the divisional. We're not going to jump into any games in this franchise. I don't know if it makes much of a difference to y'all. If it does, let me know and I can jump in the future and maybe risk losing the franchise, but I'm not going to do it here. We'll just simulate this game out and see if we can move on to the conference championship. I don't remember if simulation was better or worse in this game, but we're about to find out. It is worse. We get destroyed 28-7 by the Buffalo Bills. I guess they had the MVP, EJ Manuel, but still, dude, what the hell? Wait, what did EJ Manuel do? I'm going to check the stats. What happened? Oh, just a casual 4,600 yards, 40 passing touchdowns in a 16-game season, might I add. LaShawn McCoy wasn't that good. Oh, they still had Robert Woods. This is a fucking sick receiving group. Robert Woods, Sammy Watkins, Percy Harvin with Charles Clay at tight end. They also got Andrew Whitworth. Maybe it's valid that they beat us. That's a fucking crazy offense. In the Super Bowl, the Seahawks take down the Bills, who we lost to, obviously, 34-28. So, I mean, I'll take that as a Seahawks fan. Wish it could have been like that in real life. By 2016, Seattle was like still coming off of the brutal Super Bowl loss. I guess it was a couple years ago at that point, but their roster was falling apart from that pretty much. So, you know, not exactly realistic, but I guess things went a little differently here, so you never know. Keep clicking on weird things. I'm like thinking I thought that said upgrade players, because normally the upgrade players things, it looks like that, but apparently not here. But we have some re-signings. Is there anyone we really need back? I mean, it's mostly just depth. I guess we can re-sign Isaiah Crowell. It's not that important, but he re-signs. Cool. Corey Coleman. Oh, that's Spence. No. Jordan Poyer. I offered him a contract at the midseason, but he just liked the length. Trust me, so does your mother. And he doesn't want to re-sign. All right, fair enough. We'll find a different safety. I mean, he's already 26 anyways. He does have superstar, but we can find a replacement. So with that, let's get into the offseason and let's hopefully upgrade this team again, even more. Also, wait, how loud? Okay, because this game is really goddamn loud in my headphones. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't registering too much on my recording to the point where it drowns my voice out, but I doubt y'all can even hear it. This is a whole trial and error video, if you couldn't tell. I didn't know it would be this messy. I probably should have tested it beforehand, but it is what it is. Ooh, I see Johnny Manziel got superstar dev. We'll take that. Yeah, see, Drew Brees was just an 83 overall. He regressed 7 overall. If you're like a running back, I remember having this argument actually, so this might have been a thing still in Madden 22. If you're a running back, that makes sense. Running backs fall off quick. If you're a quarterback, I mean, we saw Tom Brady. I mean, I know Tom Brady's different, but he was like 45, still playing at a really high level. Peyton Manning kind of fell off when he was like 40, but he was still solid. Drew Brees, I mean, this would be, while he was still really solid, I would say like 90 overall plus, but they have him down to a 76. Like, that's the shitty part about this. I remember now, but you take the good with the bad when you're playing a really, I guess it's not a really old Madden game, but you know what I mean. Ooh, Kiko Alonso's here. It looks like Carlos Dansby did retire. I mean, Kiko Alonso is one of those players that definitely did start to fall off quick. By this point, I don't even think he was that good of a player at all anymore, but here he's still good. Definitely feel good about offering him a contract. And unfortunately, there isn't really a good safety option. That could be something we look at early in the draft, I guess. So speaking of the draft, I almost forgot to sign these players. Hold on. We are offering for Kiko Alonso and Sharif Floyd. I wouldn't say they're necessary because, I mean, we have Blake Martinez to replace Carlos Dansby. We have Danny Shelton already, so we don't need an upgrade. But if we can upgrade, we might as well upgrade. You know what I mean? So Kiko Alonso and Sharif Floyd, I think you have to do it this way, where you simulate a week and then it'll do it. So we do get both Sharif Floyd and Kiko Alonso. Those are two throwback names. And now this defense, let me just list off the names here. I mean, well, I guess it's not that crazy, but Joe Hayden, Chris Jones, Sharif Floyd, Akeem Hick, Dante Whitner, Kiko Alonso, Tashawn Gibson. Like, this is a pretty good defense now. The offense is also very good, maybe better. I mean, our offensive line is disgusting. Josh Gordon is very good. I will say, though, we don't really have a crazy receiver 2. Ideally, Boyd would be the receiver 3 as the slot guy. Maybe we can find one in the draft. We'll see. But otherwise, this team is just amazing. I'm surprised it's only like an 83 overall. It feels a lot better. But with that, let's get to the draft. All right, well, here in the draft, we pick at number 28, obviously, because we were very good this year. But the 2017 class featured players like Myles Garrett, Jamal Adams, Mike Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Patrick Mahomes, Marshawn Lattimore, Deshaun Watson, but it also featured players like Mitch Trubisky, Solomon Thomas, Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis, John Ross. There were a decent amount of busts up here. Now, some of those players I named as busts, like Fournette and Davis, they're decent players, but I definitely wouldn't say they're worth taking with a top 10 pick. However, you have arguably the best pass rusher in Myles Garrett in the NFL, maybe the best running back in the NFL in Christian McCaffrey, at least probably like top 3. You have the best quarterback in the NFL in Patrick Mahomes. This was a really, really nice draft class if you made the right pick. But at the 28th pick, who is going to be available? Should we go Mitch Trubisky? Ooh, you know what? Hassan Reddick is here. I don't know what dev trait I have him at though, because I think I edited these before he broke out this last year, so he might not be that good. Oh, but this is almost too perfect. Our like main need right now is safety, and Budda Baker is staring us right in the face. I want to make good picks in the first 3 rounds. I don't want to cheese all 3 picks, but I want to make solid ones, and then like I said, I'll simulate the rest out. I think that makes it fair to where we get like good draft classes, but we aren't like absolutely just going, you know, like Richard Sherman type picks in the 5th round. Like, I don't want to do that. But we'll take Budda Baker in the 1st round, and that definitely seals up our safety need. And with the 24th pick in the 2nd round, I officially have no idea what to do here. Should we go Deshaun Kaiser, future Brown? Josh Dobbs, future Brown, I guess? Oh my god, the GOAT, Chad Kelly. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I really liked Brad Kaya coming out of Miami. I was a fan, I remember that. That did not work out. Taysom Hill, PJ Walker, that's fire. I saw Nick Mullins. Yo, the undrafted QBs are kind of interesting here. Cooper Kupp. I remember screaming at the Seahawks to draft him in the 2nd round during the 2017 draft, and they didn't. Who did they take? Didn't they take Ethan Posick? Was he in this draft? That's who they took. Holy shit. I should be the Seahawks GM. Fuck this shit, dude. I want to take a good player, but I don't want to cheese it. Cooper Kupp would be cheesing it. Chris Godwin, I think, would be cheesing it. Kenny Golladay, though. I mean, Kenny Golladay on the Lions was really nice. A lot of people think of him as like Giants Kenny Golladay, who just wasn't trying for whatever reason. But Lions Kenny Golladay paired with Matthew Stafford was really nice. Jump ball receivers usually do pair really well with strong arm QBs, so it makes sense. But we're going to pair him with Johnny Manziel, who in this world is pretty good, so that's going to be the pick. 69 overall, nice. I'm surprised he was that low, but fair enough. And just a few picks later, I do want some sort of pass rusher. Trey Hendrickson's here, but that's kind of cheese, and I don't know if he's not a great 3-4 fit. There isn't really anybody I could like reasonably take here. Maybe Samson Ebukam, but I don't know how good he is in these rosters. This will be our last pick though. We could go with a corner like Shaquille Griffin, Cam Sutton, Jordan Lewis. There's some decent ones here. Rasul Douglas. George Kittle is here. I forgot he was in this class. Jonnu Smith. Smith, Mo Alley Cox. Was Mo Alley Cox a 4th round pick? I thought he was undrafted for some reason. I don't know. You know what? Let's go with a good running back 2. Is Kareem Hunt even gonna play over players like Duke Johnson and Isaiah Crowell though? Do we even have Isaiah Crowell too? Doing 2 franchises makes me forget like who we do and don't have. You know what I mean? Like I can't remember what I did in the old franchise and what I did different in this one. Jonnu Smith could also be a really fun pick though. Mitch Trubisky's still available. You know what? Let's just go Kareem Hunt. He'll be a good 2nd running back. I feel a little cheesy, but running backs don't usually go super high anyways for good reason because it's easy to find good ones. Well, I wouldn't say easy, but like it's probably the easiest position to find a good player at. So let's take Kareem Hunt. And that's exactly the overall I thought he would be. So with that, we'll simulate the rest of these picks out and we'll see what the CPU can do. The other thing I like about the older franchises is, you know, we don't really even have a need for the recap anymore. I guess the only point of it is to see who the CPU picked, but the CPU did fucking terribly. They picked Davis Webb in the 3rd round. Why? Like, at least pick Trubisky. I mean, maybe he got taken, but like, why QB? Why a backup QB in the 3rd round? I'd pick that in the fucking 6th or 7th, not the 3rd. But like I was saying, the thing I like about this is it shows you the overalls of the players right after I pick them. I don't really understand the point of it hiding the overall. I mean, I guess I do, so you don't like cheese it and be like, oh, this guy I picked isn't good. Let's pick another one at that position to try to get a better one, because that's not really how it works in real life. Like, it's not like teams know immediately after they pick if they just picked a bust or something. But also, like, who cares? Like, was that some big fucking epidemic in Madden? Like, was that some major problem? I don't know. It's just more fun to immediately see the overall of the player you took. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. But I mean, you guys already saw the overalls. 73 for Baker, 69 nice for Galladay, 72 for Kareem Hunt, and then the CPU picked Davis Webb, Cordrea Tankersley, Tedrick Thompson, Alex Arma, Jordan Morgan, Mike Tyson, and Jalen Myrick. 2 former Seahawks in here, by the way, so again, the CPU likes picking Seahawks apparently, but fair enough. I wouldn't, because they're not very good at drafting, except this last year, but still. But here's a look at the team heading into the 3rd and potentially final year of the rebuild, depending on how we do. I've been recording for like 6 hours. I mean, I guess that's about how long these normally take, but normally I get farther within like 6 hours, you know what I mean? We're only at the beginning of year 3, so I don't know, man. I'm fucking tired. But on the bright side, the team is looking really cool. Like, just imagine where the Browns would be at if Johnny Manziel did work out. The thing is, I don't know how Johnny Manziel is gonna do in this game. He was good last year, but that was with me forcing wins to get the record we actually had in Madden 23. I don't know how we're gonna do in regular Madden Sim, but I guess we'll find out. Also, wait, I want to do this. I do want to start Kenny Galladay. It won't get him full starting snaps, but it should be a decent amount. So that's how the offense is looking, and then here is how the defense is looking. Preston Smith was just chilling in free agency, so I guess he'll be a good 3rd guy. Really good 3rd guy, honestly. I mean, Jordan Jenkins and Preston Smith as your 3rd and 4th guys is not bad. Also, I'm realizing we have the Cardinals strong safety group. I mean, that's not what it currently is, but both of them were Cardinals at one point. You know what I mean? Obviously, we just added Kiko Alonso too. I like that a lot. So I'm really excited to get into year 3. Again, potentially the final year. Probably not, if I had to be honest. I don't know how much faith I have in this team doing well in this game, but I guess we'll find out. But with that, let's get to the midseason point of year number 3, and let's see how this team can do. All right, well, I was wrong about us being bad, but I'm glad I was wrong. We're not like amazing or anything, not as good as last year, but we are 5-3 at the midseason, so we will definitely take that. What I'm not happy about is the re-signings it looks like we're gonna have. I see at least Joe Thomas, oh god, Joel Bitonio, Paul Kruger, Barkevius Mingo. It's not too bad after, oh well, Akeem Hick, John Greco, Johnny Manziel. Oh shit. Are we gonna be able to afford like all these guys? Joe Thomas we definitely want back. We will go, I guess 3 years. It will be 52.8 mil, and he takes it. Joel Bitonio, let's give him a 6-year deal. I mean, this could be our last year depending on how far we go. So 6 years, 88.7 mil. We'll have 69 mil in cap space left. Nice. And he doesn't take it. Okay, well, go fuck yourself. Paul Kruger, how has he been in this franchise? He hasn't been like crazy or anything, and he's gonna regress. So we'll wait on him. Same with Barkevius Marquinhos Mingo, how has he been? He's doing pretty well this year, but I have that feeling as soon as we re-sign him, he's just gonna suck. But how expensive is he? Well, he's not crazy cheap. That's really not that expensive, though. But he also isn't the best scheme fit because our pass rushers, the rush ends, are both power rushers for this team. At least I think they are. But Paul Kruger is a power rusher here, and he wasn't a great fit either. What the hell is our scheme? It must be power rusher because Kruger was better? I don't know, dude. It was weird. Funny enough, Preston Smith we might resign, though, because he is really cheap. 3 years, 9.8 mil. Oh, no, he doesn't resign. He wants a better salary. And Johnny Manziel, we definitely want him back. That's not that expensive. 5 years, 127 mil. A better salary. Everyone wants a better salary. I want a better salary. You know what I mean? Like, just doesn't happen sometimes. Akeem Hick, 3 years, 31.6 mil. He wants a better, everyone wants a better salary. All right. Feel like fucking Oprah here, dude. Brandon McManus, do you want to not be a bitch? Maybe? Cool. 3 years, 3 mil. That works. All right. Well, with that, not a great re-sign period, but we'll get to the end of the year and hopefully this team can finish strong. Oh shit. Wait, I forgot to download the goddamn draft classes. Okay, I'll do that, then we'll get to the end of the year. All right. Well, here we are at the end of year number 3. I keep forgetting what year we're in. It's throwing me off doing 2 different franchises. I mean, I'm technically in year number 5, so work with me here. But this is how the team is looking at the end of year number 3. Again, if you for some reason have made it all the way here and you haven't already, what the fuck are you doing? But be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. I'm swearing a lot in this video. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me today. But again, 900 likes, 7,500 subs, and we will have even more banger special videos coming out pretty soon. Very soon, actually. I mean, I got to this one much quicker than I expected, so I think y'all will really enjoy them coming up. I'm already having a lot of fun with this one. It'll be a lot more fun when I don't have to deal with all this garbage, but it is fun anyway. As fun as Madden can be. But Kenny Golladay, I did give Superstar Dev just because he was a lower overall. I remember I didn't mess with the overalls, but the way I did it is if in their prime, they were 15 overall higher than their current rating. Like, I think Kenny Golladay went up to like an 85 at some point in Madden, and he was a 69 here. That's a 16 overall difference, which reaches 15, so I gave him Superstar Dev. Because there were like a lot of players that had decent overalls that didn't work out, I left them with normal, and if at any point they were like 5 overall better than the rating they had in the draft class, I would give them Star Dev, which isn't a high level, but just because there were a lot of other players that had decent overalls that never really achieved anything, if that makes any sense. That was probably the messiest way I could have explained that, but I'm kind of famous for that. Anyways, more rambling out of the way. Let's ramble more about the defense. We're looking pretty good here on defense. I forgot I gave Mike Tyson Star. He was decent for the Texans for like 1 year, and that's like it. I probably could take that away. At least I think it was the Texans. Maybe it wasn't the Texans. I don't know. Either way, let's just reveal the record. Enough rambling. We finished 11-5. We did pretty well. We're going to be taking on the Patriots in the wild card, but super quick, let's check out the season stats. Johnny Manziel was decent. We can't expect as crazy of numbers here as we can in Madden 23. However, there were some really crazy quarterback stats. Carson Wentz is a stud here for the Jets. He has an X factor. I mean, prime Carson Wentz was amazing. Fair enough, but it was literally like not even a full season because he got injured, but fair enough. Blake Bortles is doing pretty good here. Deshaun Watson on the Giants. Brock Osweiler is still the Broncos QB. That's fucking crazy. I swore again. I'm sorry. Colin Kaepernick is still the 49ers QB. Alex Smith still on the Chiefs. Where did Patrick Mahomes go? Oh, there he is. That was weird timing. On the Commanders of all teams. Obviously, I gave him X Factor, but he wasn't that good. I mean, that's a decent year for real life, but for Madden, that's pretty not great. Ryan Mallett, still the Texans QB. Andy Dalton is still the Bengals QB. Only 2 picks on the year from Andrew Luck. That's kind of crazy. Sam Bradford is still the Eagles QB. MVP now, EJ Manuel last year. Didn't have quite the same success this year, but is up to an 80 overall with Superstar. Good lord. There's some weird stuff happening here. This is a crazy franchise. I love it. LeGarrette Blunt. LeGarrette this in a blunt. 1,100 yards, 4.9 per carry, 12 touchdowns. Josh Gordon with 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. Kobe Fleener, almost 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. Not much from Boyd or Golladay, unfortunately. The offensive line, can't remember how lines were in this game. Were they like, some were crazy bad. Okay, so it looks more realistic than Madden 23, but still kinda, still not great. Who is Tanner Hawk? I do not remember who this, I don't remember. I'm sorry. That's like the one player where I'm just like, wait a minute. But on defense, Kiko Alonso led the team with 104 tackles. Baker, as as a rookie with 100. Chris Jones led the team with 14 tackles for loss, 12 for Floyd, 10 for Kruger. In sack, 11 for Chris Jones, 9.5 for Barkevius Mingo. He's still good here. Sharif Floyd with 8.5. I'm glad I didn't re-sign Paul Kruger because he is not same here. Kiko Alonso had almost as many sacks. It's kind of crazy. Interceptions, 4 for Justin Gilbert. Good year for him. I mean, big bust in real life. I haven't even really talked much about him. He was a very high pick. Wasn't he like the 7th overall pick in 2014 for the Browns? Did I get that exactly right? Let me check. I might have. He might have been like 8th though. He was 8th. Okay, I'm glad I corrected myself. Also, he is in the Indoor Football League. Champions Indoor Football. Is that even the main? Is there a main indoor football league? I don't even know. Bro, try out for the XFL or something, or the USFL. I think you would do okay. I mean, if you were a first round pick, you had to have some talent at some point. I don't know, dude. I'm going on fucking crazy tangents in this video. I don't know what's wrong with me. Joe Hayden with 3 picks, 2 for Baker and Williams, 1 for a few players, including Paul Kruger. I don't think it's a great thing when your pass rusher is getting a quarter as many interceptions as sacks. That's probably not good. But yearly awards, MVP goes to Carson Wentz on the Jets, which, hold on, that might be perfect. What was his really good year? That might have been the year after this, but he did have a really good year. I think it was the 17 season, and then the Super Bowl they went to was in 18 with Nick Foles. That was either 17-18 or 18-19. I don't know for sure, but Carson Wentz is MVP on the Jets, staying in the same area, just different green team. Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson, I mean, decently realistic players up there, but then we get to like Marcus Mariota, Blake Bortles. Marcus Mariota had like a borderline MVP season in like 2016, which is weird, but it was just a weird year in general. And then he like shattered his leg, or maybe Derek Carr did, or they both did in the same week while they were both MVP candidates. I can't remember. Again, weird rambling, I'm sorry. But offensive player of the year goes to Carson Wentz, Johnny Manziel at number 7, followed by Brock Osweiler. All right, Madden. Defensive player of the year went to Von Miller. No Browns. Offensive rookie of the year does go to Kareem Hunt. I didn't even see what he did necessarily, but we'll take it. What did he do? Kenny Golladay at number 7. Well, Golladay had like 500 yards and he was all the way down at 7. I must just completely miss what Kareem Hunt did, but we'll check. Jabril Peppers wins defensive rookie of the year on the Jets. The Jets are doing pretty well for themselves here. Baker at number 3. Former Brown at this point. Well, I guess he never was a Brown in this world. Myles Garrett at number 2, and no other Browns up there. I want to see what Kareem Hunt did. I didn't even notice. 450 yards, 6 touchdowns, but terrible yards carry. And then 178 receiving yards with 3 touchdowns. That's good enough for rookie of the year? Okay. The AFC offensive rookies must not have been very good. And I saw players like Chris Carson, fucking Cooper Kupp. Like, there were some decent players in there, but whatever. I even saw Alvin Kamara too. I don't know what happened, but we'll take it, I guess. But with that, we're going to be taking on the New England Patriots in the wild card. Of course, we can't jump in because I don't want to risk losing another franchise. So we'll just simulate this game out and let's see if we can get a win. And we do. 42-20. That's kind of like 420, and that's very funny. But we're going to be taking on the 11-5 Denver Broncos in the divisional. Crazy amount of upgrades here. K'Wan Williams, Akeem Hick, Budda Baker, just to name a few. Budda Baker now up to 80 overall. I didn't even notice what dev trade I gave him. I gave him Superstar. Okay, valid. We'll just auto spend the rest of those. We had a weekly award apparently, which isn't super surprising. Johnny Manziel got sacked 4 times, but still 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns too. Damn. We have Sam Barrington still on. Was he ever on the Giants? I can't remember. Wait, what team was he mostly on? Was that even who that was, or did I just say the complete wrong name? Sam Barrington never played much in his career. No, that looks like him. I don't know. That's a weird player to win defensive player of the week in the playoffs, but whatever. Malcolm Smith type beat. But with that, let's see if we can take down Brock Osweiler. Hopefully he doesn't get any lasers shined in his eyes. What's the word? I don't know. Either way, let's see if we can take down the Broncos. I can't wait to lose. We were so close to the rebuild being over, but we lose 31-28. So we're going on to another year, which is fun, but also put me out of my misery at the same time. You know what I mean? I've had to go through a lot for this. If the game crashes at this point, that'll be the end of the rebuild. I'm giving up. So here in the Super Bowl, we have the Chiefs beating the Seahawks 28-22. I mean, that's just, as a Seahawks fan, wait, was that the score of the dreaded Super Bowl? I think that was 28-24, but that's really close. Yeah, it was 28-24. And in this world, just like that, the Seahawks won a Super Bowl the year before and then lost the next one. Did they throw an interception on the goal line? I don't know. Who's even... Oh yeah, it's still Russell Wilson, so maybe. But for re-signings, of course, we still have a few decent players here. Joel Bitonio, we'll definitely up the salary. We'll try that. 6 years, 90.5 mil. And he resigns. Barkevius Mingo was very good this year. I don't know how he still hasn't gotten a good dev trait. We haven't even negotiated with him. We'll offer him 4 years, 32.3 mil though, and he takes it. Preston Smith wants more salary, but he's a good third guy. His face is incredibly shiny for some reason, and he resigns. And then Akeem Hicks, what has he done? What have you done for me? Not much. He hasn't really played much. He's kind of just the odd man out, so we might have to let him go. John Greco has regressed, so we'll let him go. Johnny Manziel wants more salary. We'll offer him 5 years, 129 mil, and he takes it. Not a cheap contract, but I'm glad to get him back. It looks like Justin Gilbert does get star dev here. We will, he was really good this last year though. We'll offer him 4 years, 25.5 mil, and he takes it. And then I think that is everybody we want back. We're not gonna have a crazy amount of money going into free agency, but hopefully it's enough. And actually I want to check, are there any cuts we can make? I don't want to cut Joe Hayden. Andy Lee, that's a lot of money for a punter. We could honestly find a better one for cheaper, probably, but everyone else, there isn't really another cut we can make, so that's good there. But in free agency, Vontez Burfict at a 94 overall with X Factor. He was fairly overrated, honestly. I mean, he was a decent player, but he was like kind of a big hitter, and that was mostly it. Like, he was a decent tackler, but in coverage, he wasn't all that good. I guess tackling was a little more important at the time, but still. We could get old-ass Adrian Peterson here. Jadeveon Clowney. Blake Bortles is here. He's been pretty good. I liked Zach Mettenberger a decent amount when he was on, like, the Titans. I don't know why I did, to be fair, but I did. He looked good for, like, one preseason, and I was like, ooh. There isn't really anyone good in free agency. Stedman Bailey, isn't he the one who got, like, shot? I don't know how much I can say on YouTube. I feel like if any video ever is gonna get, like, demonetized or whatever, which I've never had a problem with, knock on wood, it's gonna be this one. I've said some pretty questionable things. Stephon Diggs with normal dev, what? I guess it was pre-breakout Stephon Diggs. I'll try to remember to give him, like, X Factor to whatever team he goes to. The team could be us, but I don't know. We do kind of need a guard now. Who would be a good guard? I don't know if there is one here. We might just look for one in the draft, unless we want to go like Trey Jackson or something. Why is Trey Jackson a 79? He was never good. I don't know. There's some weird overalls here. I'm gonna be honest. Like Jordan Mills at a 78. I don't know about that. Donald Stevenson at a 77. I genuinely don't know who Tanner Hawkinson is, and he's at a 75. There isn't really anybody that good in free agency though, unfortunately. I mean, we have money. Oh yeah, this was at a time where you can't check what their stats were in the previous season. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Jadeveon Clowney though could be a good option. He's goddamn expensive, but could be good. Well, 129 mil. I don't know, or 129 points. I don't necessarily want to do that. All right, well, we're offering him 114, or yeah, 114 over 7 years. So hopefully this ends up being worth it. And that's really all we're gonna do here. Could also go for a guy like Vontez Burfict, but no, I can't because we don't have any more money. Is that worth it? Is this honestly worth it? I don't know. We'll do it though. He's a good player, I guess. I might bump it down a little bit from that though. All right, we'll try 7 years, 99 mil. We'll still have a little cap left over. Is there anything we can do with that cap? Or was that just pointless? It might have been. I guess that'll let us get a potential Band-Aid option at right guard. He's old, but this is possibly the last year anyways, so Ryan Wendell, we'll see if we can get him. But these are gonna be the two players we're gonna go for, and let's see if we can get them. So we get Jadeveon Clowney. We do have the lead for Ryan Wendell still hasn't signed. Still are the only team interested though. We have a 5th year option. Danny Shelton, meh. We have other options. And another 5th year. Cam Irving, definitely not. But okay, let's see. Will Ryan Wendell sign or not? Is he just not gonna sign, which was a thing at this time? I think it might still be a thing. Okay, no, he does accept. So with that, we're definitely up to a decent overall at an 84. So with that, let's see what we can do in the draft. But here in the draft, the Raiders have the #1 overall pick. We do have the updated Rams logo by this point. I think this was the first year it was around. It's such an interesting logo. I still don't know if I like it. I think their old logo was miles better. It just doesn't look like a football logo to me. It looks like a baseball logo to me, but I don't know. We'll simulate to our pick. We have the 27th overall pick. Mike Hughes just went to the Giants, a pick before us. We have elite players like Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Mr. like 9 mistakes ahead of me. I still think he could have been decent if he got given a solid opportunity. I mean, the one year he really played, he was on like the worst team ever. Not worst team ever, but worst in the NFL. Lamar is still here? Really? I'm sure I gave him X factors, so that's kind of surprising, but interesting. Nick Chubb is here, Darius Leonard, Braden Smith. There's some good players here. Cortland Sutton, Harold Landry, Mike Gesicki. I do want to look at a receiver for sure. The problem is there isn't like a superstar receiver here. Like Cortland Sutton is good, Christian Kirk is good. There isn't like a monster here though. Fred Warner here. How cheesy do I want to make this team? Well, we will go with Cortland Sutton. Has 4.84 speed here for some reason. That's definitely interesting, but should be a good player, I hope. So we're gonna take Cortland Sutton with our first round pick. Also, wait, 35 bench reps? What kind of player is this? I remember there was a thing with these classes where some stats must have been different from whatever games these classes were made in, and it like shifted stats around a little bit. So if a player had like 90 speed, for example, it would shift it 1 down to like make it 90 agility, and then it would move the agility down 1 to make it like 88 strength or whatever the next thing was, which it doesn't really matter. Overalls are really the only thing that matters anyways, but still it's weird. Anyways, another weird ramble. Let's take Cortland Sutton. And he is a 73 overall, ranked 15th in the class. Oh, and yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. He does have 75 speed and probably like 88 or 89 strength. We'll fix that. But that was a good pick. Now with our next pick, how cheesy are we feeling? Orlando Brown Jr.'s here. Jamarco Jones has a 1.9 combine grade. That is a low grade. Wyatt Teller's here. There are some good players. Alex Kappa, Mark Andrews. I don't want to cheese it too bad though. Jawan Bentley, Teron Johnson. Wait, is that the good one? The Bills have like 2 corners named Johnson and I get them mixed up for some reason. DJ Reed, Avonte Maddox. There are definitely some good players left in this class, but I think we are gonna cheese it a little bit just for funsies. We're gonna go Fred Warner. He's not gonna become like a 99 overall or anything. In fact, by the end of this, he'll probably only be around an 80, if that. But we're gonna take him. Still only 21 years old here, out of BYU. I'm getting really tired, but Fred Warner is now a Cleveland Brown. We'll take it. And we still do kind of need a guard, so, well, it's not like Teller would start anyway, so We still do need a defensive lineman though, I think. The best one available might be John Franklin Myers. I don't know what his overall is going to be here. He's not scouted at all. I don't know if I made him good yet, but he is good in real life. So let's take him. John Franklin Myers is now also a Cleveland Brown. 71 overall, so he was good at this point. Hidden dev. Cheese this one a little bit, but it is what it is. So here's a recap of the draft. Obviously, the first 3 picks y'all already saw, but the CPU did pretty well too. Tyler Conklin, I mean, he's a good tight end for the Jets. He's a solid. Is he more so their number 2? No, he's more their number 1. Uzama's their number 2, right? I don't know. Either way, good pick. He'll be a good like 3rd tight end. He'll be really good for a 3rd. Jacob Martin, I was depressed when the Seahawks traded him away in the Jadeveon Clowney trade. He became a decent little player. Still kind of bouncing around the league as like a good 3rd pass rusher, 4th pass rusher. And now we have both Jadeveon Clowney and Jacob Martin, so that works out. Greg Stroman's okay. Jordan Thomas, isn't he really good in like the XFL or something? I don't know. Either way, good draft. I'm very happy with it. And with that, let's get into the 4th and potentially final year. Maybe it was a bad idea to say I want to at least make the conference championship, because this could end up going on forever. We might cap it here if we do really well. We'll see, because I'm running out of time. We might make a big trade to help this move along quicker. We'll see. I don't remember how crazy trading was in this game, but we're about to find out. Kenny Stills is an 86, or not 86, he's a 90 overall? Ooh, I don't know about that. I mean, he was decent for a few years, but what the hell? Also, this receiving core is loaded. Oh my god. I guess that kind of spoils what I'm about to try to do, but I don't feel like that's too shocking anyways. Okay, well, weird trade here. We're going to be trading Blake Martinez, Justin Gilbert, and Duke Johnson to the 49ers for Torrey Smith. We needed a really good number 2 receiver, and Torrey Smith can very well be that. So I'm very much happy with that trade. I want to make another trade, but unfortunately we are extremely broke now, and there isn't really anyone I can cut. So that might be the final team heading heading into this year. So we'll get a super quick team breakdown in a second, and then we'll get into the fourth and probably final year. All right, well, here's a team heading into the fourth and final year of the rebuild. I realized I said a team. I said a team and not the team. I'm getting really tired. It's almost midnight. I need to get this done. So obviously the team is looking very good. No, well, I was gonna say no big changes, but we did add Torrey Smith, which is it's cool. In real life, by like 2018, that wouldn't be super cool, and he would be more down here probably, maybe like here, but still. In this franchise, he has become a really good player, so we'll take that. And Ryan Wendell at guard, those are really the only two changes. And then on defense, obviously we added Fred Warner, John Franklin Myers. We still have Danny Shelton too, who I could play at defensive end instead of John Franklin Myers. Might be a better option, but it goes off rush defensive tackles anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, we need another corner. Maybe I should trade for one, just real quick. This is gonna be like a 2-hour long read. No, probably not. It'll probably be like at least over an hour though. Why am I looking at fucking linebacker? I need to sleep. Good lord. Also, someone left a comment on my video, literally explain. I love when people leave comments saying exactly what I explained in the video. Someone left a comment saying Kendall Fuller started with the Commanders, then went to the Chiefs, and then went back to the Commanders. Pretty sure I said that word for word in the video, but maybe not. I don't know. Speaking of Kendall Fuller, I could trade for him. He's relatively cheap. Would be a pretty good third corner option. We could trade Davis Webb away. They want a receiver. Would Taylor Gabriel work? Doesn't do much for him. Is there someone who's interested in Taylor Gabriel at all? The Chiefs, Eagles, and that's it. So do they have a corner? Chief, we could get Marcus Peters, but he's not that good here. And Eagles, we're not going to be able to get Ramsey unless we are. No. Eric Rowe, I'd rather go with Peters, but would they want to give up their #1 corner? Apparently. All right, well, we get Marcus Peters for Taylor Gabriel and Davis Webb. We will take that. Drew Brees is chilling in free agent. That kind of cool. We'll take that. And Tyrod Taylor, and Eli Manning, and Jay Cutler, and Kirk Cousins towards the bottom. Christian Ponder. And let's sign. Did anyone here become good? Oh, River Craycraft, one of my favorite receivers ever. As a Washington State fan, let's bring him in. Wait, we go over the limit now? Oh yeah, we traded for somebody. I'm so stupid. All right, we'll cut a corner. And now, with that, I will rearrange the specialist, and I think we're good once I do these. So with that, let's get straight to the end of year number 4. This is for sure going to be the final year, and let's see how this team can do. All right, well, once again, y'all know why we're here. Super quick, if you haven't already, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. 900 likes, 7,500 subs, and we'll do another special video and another one like this, if y'all enjoy this. This one was a little jank, but we figured it out, so I think we're doing pretty good. But here's a look at the team at the end of year number 4. Johnny Manziel up to an 86, Josh Gordon up to a 96 with morale. The offense in general is looking amazing. And then here is the defense. Obviously, Fred Warner has X Factor. Joe Hayden up to a 93, Chris Jones up to an 89. We're looking, or 86, I know numbers. But in year number 4, we finished 10-6, making the playoff once again. So even though we don't have like a Super Bowl or anything, we've definitely made the Browns a legit competitor every year. Let's check out some of the season stats though. Johnny Manziel, 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, 13 picks. The numbers aren't as crazy in this game as they are in Madden 23, but that's still a really nice year. The Garrett Blunt, 1,100 yards, 16 touchdowns. Josh Gordon, 1,300 yards. Fleener with 900. Torrey Smith was decent. The blocking was solid. Ryan Wendell wasn't that good, but everyone else was pretty good. Kiko Alonso led the team with 117 tackles. Tackles for loss, 15 for Chris Jones led the team in sack. Ooh, there weren't really any. Jadeveon Clowney with 2. So he's getting like 10 mil per year per sack. That's absurd. All right. And then Budda Baker with 3 interceptions led the team, 2 for Warner and Williams, and then 1 for a few players. Where did our defense rank in the league? Because we might try a new defensive playbook. I don't know how the playbooks are in this game. A little below average in terms of points. Pretty good in terms of total yards, though. I don't know if we should mess with it, but the stats weren't great. MVP goes to Matt Ryan, EJ Manuel up there again, Geno Smith on the Saints. This is pretty good Geno Smith, so I'm surprised he's up there. Ooh, Josh Allen before, well, I guess he was a rookie in one of the class, so never mind. But he's up there on the Chargers. Offensive player of the year goes to Big Ben. Johnny Manziel at number 8. Blake Bortles now on the Texans. Defensive player of the year went to Brandon Marshall, the linebacker. Interesting. No Browns up there. Offensive rookie of the year went to Josh Allen. They also got Sony Michel, who apparently is doing pretty decent so far. The Chargers had a good class. class for sure. But no Browns up here, and Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Fred Warner. I didn't even know he would play much, but we will definitely take that. Derwin James on the Bills, Denzel Ward on the Raiders, Roquan on the Colts, but unfortunately no Browns other than Fred Warner up there. But of course, I'm getting used to like there being no scenarios, or I guess I should say I'm having to get used to that, because I expect to have to click on something here, but there just isn't anything. So we're going to be taking on the Chargers, who we were just talking about, with Josh Allen. They still have Phillip Rivers. It's just regression is extreme in this game. They have Melvin Gordon, hasn't really developed much here at all. Oh, he doesn't have a dev trait for some reason. They also have Alex Collins and Sony Michel. They still do have a lot of Chargers players. Corey Liuget, or Luget, is that how you say that? I can't remember, dude. It hasn't even been that many years since he retired, like 2, but still. They also have Kenny Clark, damn, okay. Manti Te'o still. Melvin Ingram, he didn't really develop either, though. He's still decent, but meh. They have Jason Verrett, no injuries here, so he would be fine. That corner room is kind of gross, though. They still have Eric Weddle, Sean Williams, that's interesting. So this is I don't know if this team's that good. They kind of have Keenan Allen, and Josh Allen was good, but that's it. They have the 2 Allens, and that's really it. So I can't wait to lose this game, but with that, let's simulate to the divisional, and let's see if we can get a win. And we do, but barely. 47-41. This defense is scaring me. I might switch the playbook. We'll see. We have an upgrade for LeGarrette, this and a blunt, and we're going to be taking on the 10-6 Tennessee Titans. So they still have Marcus Mariota in this world. They still might have at the time, this might be before they moved to Ryan Tannehill, they have Mitch Trubisky, but Chance Warmack is looking very good here. Jarrell Casey, Taylor Lewan, Kendall Wright, Derek Morgan, Avery Williamson, Danny Trevathan, DeForest Buckner, I didn't know they added him. Demarcus Robinson looks like he's doing pretty well. Matt Breida, who's their running back? It is Matt Breida, okay, and they have Rashad Penny too. Dorial Green Beckham, yo, he was really good for like 2 years. Oh, they got Corey Davis. What round did they pick him in? Hopefully not like top 10 like they did in real life. Oh no, they definitely did. First round pick 4. That's not great. History has an interesting way of repeating itself. CJ Fedorowicz, he was a really good player for the Texans for like a year and then he like retired. But anyways, let's simulate this game out against the Titans. They have a good looking team, and let's see if we can get another win and move on to the conference championship. And our run unfortunately ends there as we lose 38-35. To be fair, that was a pretty good roster. I won't complain too much about that, but I will complain. Where do you retire at in this game? I want to check the team overalls. Okay, so we're in 87. The Titans are only an 83. The Bills are also an 87, but now it says we're listed as an 86, so I guess we're like the second best team? I swore it said we were an 87. The Packers are an 89. Good lord. But it looks like I guess we are the third best team, so definitely a good roster. And I would comfortably say if Madden Sim wasn't stupid, we've given the Browns a lot more success than they've had in real life over the past few years. So I would consider this a decent success, even though we couldn't get a Super Bowl win. But that's going to be it for today's video. If you want to see another one of these, let me know down below. But I really hope y'all enjoyed. I had a super fun time doing this. I low-key realized Madden 21 might be better than 23, which is depressing. But what do we expect from EA? But that's going to be it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that, I'll see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.